5 years of effort, over 1,500 signatures from supporters of the dog park, many council meetings. We had Eric Saul of Saul Architects volunteered over 200 hours of time to the design. A lot of work's gone into this.
Right, well, this was fantastic because it was a typical democratic process in Takoma Park. It started out with some neighborhood people wanting something. They came to the city council member. We ignored them as long as we could, and then people kept coming back, and finally we were able to make all the arrangements with Montgomery County and get the park completed. And you can hear everybody's happy to be here today.
There's a bumper sticker that you see on some cars that says what happens in Takoma Park is debated in Takoma Park, and it really was debated heavily. There were not a lot of support for this initially, people thought. There had been 3 other efforts to build a dog park that had failed, but what we did that I think was different than everybody else is Takoma Dogs made an effort to actually drum up that support and show the council members how many people were behind it. When they realized there was such a large amount of support, the politics, which normally stop these kind of things, kind of fell away, and then it just became a matter of budget and time.
The reason for this location is because it belonged to the city. It was owned by the city and it didn't have any other use before. So that was the main reason. And other location, like they already had a different use, like there was already a park. It was already a park, a different kind of park, not assigned as a dog park. That is the main primary use, like reason for using this as a location. The most difficult part was like the property belonged to the city, but the parking lot and access belonged to Park and Planning. So getting everybody together to get the permits and approval from Park and Planning to let us have an access to the park was the most difficult part. So that was the most difficult part. The other thing was the section where you see the step pool, it belongs to a school. So we even have to bring in Montgomery County Public School to let us treat that problem because they had an erosion problem. So we had to build that and we had to get an easement from them. So that was the most, 2 of them, bringing both Park and Planning and Montgomery County Public School was the difficult part for us.
We started Takoma Dogs largely to get the dog park going in Takoma Park and potentially also look at some smaller, cheaper community-based parks, things that people can walk to instead of having to drive to the larger dog park. So that was our main effort of starting Takoma Dogs, but Takoma Dogs was really just to do the dog park, and then we plan to get volunteers for the dog park as well. So we're hoping to build some shelter at the dog park for the sun, to keep the sun off the dogs, and also bring water to the dog park.
It is, without a doubt, gorgeous. It is just beautiful. But I'm sort of disappointed that the big and little dogs aren't separated. However, today they seem to all be doing very, very well together.
I've lived here for 32 years. My dog Jackie is here having a good time. I think it's great that we finally got a dog park here, but I wish we could have some shade, please.
I've been waiting for this park to open because I just got a dog a few months ago and she needs a lot more exercise than I've been able to give her, and I live walking distance from here, so this is going to change my dog's life and my life. I'm so excited about it, so I wanted to come to the opening today.
I like it. It's nice. I'm glad they did it. I'd like to see a couple extra things that I don't see, like have a watering station. That would be nice, and maybe an enclosure for small dogs. But other than that, it's great. I think it's good. All the dogs seem to like it.
I just got here, but it looks great so far. I think it's great. I actually used to live a few blocks away from here, and we used to just walk to the park and let the dog off the leash, which we got yelled at a lot for doing so. So it's great to have a place to take the dogs in the neighborhood.
I think it's very convenient. It's nice to have a place so close where we can let our dog loose, because I've been stopped so many times by police officers for having my dog off the leash, so it's nice to know that he can play around here and I won't get in trouble for it.
Dogs that go to the dog park and socialize with other animals are much more behaved, and they have an outlet. It's very important that they can play and run and be active, and they tend to be much less destructive at home as well. And so there are many benefits. Exercise, socialization is a big one. Socialization of the people at the dog park. A lot of people go to the dog park to socialize with other dog owners, and so that's important as well. Well, definitely bring your dog to the dog park and enjoy it. Have your dogs have fun and exercise, and they'll be much happier. We say a tired dog is a happy dog, and a good dog and not destructive at home.
We had figured there's about 5,200 dogs in Takoma Park based on national statistics and the population of Takoma Park. And dogs are better behaved when they're well socialized. So the benefit is not just to the humans. There's a socialization element, obviously, for the humans as well. But the dogs, there's a big improvement to dogs' behavior when they're outside the park, when they have a chance to interact, to run off leash, to play around with other dogs, that sort of thing. So that was one of the big benefits that we saw here with the dog park.
It's great for the dogs to interact with each other so that they can just burn off their energy. For people like me who work during the day and my dog is home, she needs to get a lot of exercise, and to have someplace that's close to the house that I can walk to and take her to every day, and she'll see dogs that she knows. I'm really looking forward to that. This is a great way for the neighbors to know each other too. I see a lot of people here who I don't know, and a couple people who I've met before through their dogs. So I'm looking forward to knowing my neighbors better as well.
Oh, they socialize, and it's good for the people. That's why the shirt, you see what it says? Parks for pets and parks for people. Yeah, I'm not kidding. You meet the people who have dogs are wonderful anyway, and then you get to be friends with them.
Well, there's a place for them to come and run around and engage with other dogs. So yeah, it's great. And for people to meet and talk about dogs and and get out. And, it's a place to bring them, so you don't have to worry about, is a car going to, a problem with a car or getting away from you. Get a chance to run and get their, get their energy expended.
I get to meet more neighbors in the area than I probably do at the regular park because we're so close to each other and our dogs are playing with one another, so you're forced to talk to your neighbors, so it's nice.
I mean, Takoma Park's a very friendly local community, so it's great to have a new location and go to meet people who live around you, who you might not bump into at the co-op or something.
But I just think it's wonderful. Joe Edgell maintained his position for this in over 4 years. He worked diligently, and we all owe him just a big applause. I tell you, he is a wonderful, wonderful guy.
Oh, we're thrilled. We're thrilled with the dog park. I mean, the nature of any political effort is there's compromise, and it certainly isn't what we had wanted originally. There's no separate small dog area, and I know some of the small dog owners are unhappy about that. So it would be good if we can find in Takoma Park a way to accommodate the smaller dogs at some point, potentially with an expansion here or someplace else. And it's a little bit smaller than we had originally planned, but really those are just minor issues. We're very, very excited to have this open. And we've had about 100 dogs here today and many more people, and they're thrilled. Everyone is really, really happy.
As per plan, it's almost done. It's done. But there are a few things that are missing, I would say. One would be adding water to the park, and it's going to take time. We are not going to do it right away. That would be, and some plantings we would like to plant around here because there were a few trees that had to be removed. So we're going to replant the trees and maybe a shade in future because I've gotten some calls from residents saying that they want shades here. So yeah, maybe in future. I think those three things. So right now there's no water for dogs in the park because, for that we'd have to get a permit from WSSC and Park and Planning to bring the pipe. So we decided not to put water for now. Maybe in future it's a long process to get that because we have to design the water line and get it approval from WSSC and also get it approval from Park and Planning to put the water line in here to take it to the park. So that's something we think we're going to put some in future. And the other thing is shades. I've already gotten email from people saying we don't have shades. What am I going to do when it's really sunny outside? So stuff like that. That I think we will look into it. We won't promise that we're going to do it in pretty soon, but we look into it.
mean, I've been to the one in Silver Spring. That one is probably twice the size as this one. So that's, I guess, what I was comparing it to. But, you know, it's still nice. They have a lot more like dirt for them to like run around and play and throw the ball with one another. I mean, it's nice that there's turf grass, but I wish there was some real grass out here. But I mean, overall, it looks nice. There's a lot of room for them to play. I guess I was expecting it to be a little bit bigger, but it's still, you know, it's a nice area for them to play, yeah.
I would love if there was a little bit more shade for the humans and maybe a water source here for the dogs. I see people brought water, I brought water, but that would be great if we could have a water source here.
Well, first off, every other dog park in Montgomery County has a shelter and a picnic table, and that would be very nice. There's no shade here. There needs to be shade. Now, maybe when the trees come out, it'll be better, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think they should have had a shelter and a picnic table. One last thing that I don't like is the benches have very wide spaces. And just today, 2 little dogs jumped up there and caught their legs. So we can put something on top of it. But whoever did this park probably didn't have a lot of experience with dog parks in Montgomery County.
So we hope to get some shade in the park, either through planting of a couple of trees or maybe building a shelter so that when on the really hot Washington days, you know, we can get the dogs in some shade. Dogs overheat pretty easily, especially some with heavy fur, so we want to make sure that that doesn't happen. We also need to get water here to the dog park. Water obviously is something when dogs are running around and playing, we don't want them to get dehydrated. And then the last thing that we probably would like to get some smaller, what I'd call community dog parks, ones in people's neighborhood that they can walk to.
It's a great day. We couldn't have asked for better weather. It's a beautiful day, and spring is here. And you look at who's socializing today. It's not just the dogs, but all the owners are here, and people who wish they had a dog.
It's just nice to have it finally open. It's took a while, so it's nice to see it here finally.
Let us know how you feel, and we appreciate your comments. Let us know how do you feel about the dog park, if there's anything that you want us to add or stuff like that. We'll look into it. So to contact, my contact information is on our dog park page, so look in, my email address is nimau@tacomaparkmd.gov, so email me if you have any questions and suggestions.
We're just very, very excited, appreciate the city effort here. As I mentioned, we had a lot of volunteer time from other people, but it wouldn't have happened without the city staff and the city council support, and at Takoma Dogs we really appreciate that.
That's a lumber, right?